In a village, there lived a young and talented potter. Her pottery was known far and wide for its delicate craftsmanship, admired by all who laid eyes on it. Yet, despite the praise, the potter found herself growing increasingly anxious with every piece she created. No matter how many compliments she received, an invisible pressure weighed on her heart. She constantly worried about the next pot, doubting whether it could ever meet her expectations. Her mind became obsessed with achieving perfection, the perfect shape, the flawless texture, and the smoothest glaze. But the more she fixated on perfection, the more her hands would falter. Each time she stood near the wheel, her thoughts raced ahead to the final result, her eyes seeing not the soft clay in her hands, but the perfect pot she was striving to create. Her hands trembled, her focus waned, and more often than not, the clay would wobble and collapse before her eyes. With every mistake, her frustration grew, and she blamed herself for failing to live up to the high standards she had set. One evening, as she sat by the river, lost in her worries, an elderly woman approached her. The village knew the old woman well. She was a master weaver whose tapestries were renowned for their intricate patterns and fine threads. Her hands, calm and steady, had woven many a masterpiece. Sensing the potter's troubled heart, the elderly woman sat beside her and asked, "What weighs so heavily on your mind, dear child?" Potter sighed deeply and said, "I want my pottery to be perfect, but the harder I try, the more I fail. No matter what I do, I can't seem to make the perfect piece I envision." The old woman smiled and said, "Let me share with you something I learned long ago," she began. "When I was young, I too was consumed by the desire to create flawless tapestries. I believed that every thread had to be in perfect alignment, every design without a single mistake. But no matter how hard I worked, I always found an imperfection." Potter listened. Her curiosity piqued. "So what did you do?" she asked. "I let go," the elderly woman replied simply. "I stopped focusing on the outcome, on how perfect the tapestry should look. Instead, I turned my attention to the act of weaving itself. I embraced the feel of the threads, the rhythm of my hands, and the peacefulness of each moment. And you know what happened? The tapestries began to weave themselves. The beauty emerged from my love for the craft, not from my quest for perfection." The potter thought about the old woman's words. "So you're saying I should focus on the process, not the final result?" "Exactly," the old woman said, nodding. "Perfection is an illusion. When you focus only on the result, you miss the joy of creating. Let go of that need and trust in the process. If you love what you do, the beauty will come naturally." The next morning, the potter returned to her workshop with a renewed spirit. She no longer fretted over whether her pots would be perfect. She allowed her hands to move freely, savoring the cool, soft clay and letting the wheel spin without judgment. As she immersed herself in the simple pleasure of creation, she noticed something remarkable. Her work improved. The pots became more graceful, and the joy she once lost began to return. This story reminds us that true fulfillment doesn't come from the relentless pursuit of perfection, but from embracing the journey itself. Whether it's in our work, our relationships, or personal growth, the joy lies in being present, letting go of the need for flawless outcomes, and finding meaning in the process. When we shift our focus from the end result to the experience of creating, learning, and growing, we unlock the potential for deeper satisfaction. It's not about achieving perfection, but about appreciating each step along the way. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Enjoy every step in your act.